What's up, y'all? This your girl Brittany from She Abundantly at sheabundantly.com. And I got a little story for you today. You know, the beautiful thing about my mistakes and mess ups is that even though they was a mess then, I can use it to help somebody now. So check it. I was about 18, 19 years old, a freshman in college, and I found myself in this dude's bed. So at that time, I was really one of those girls who was looking for love in all the wrong places. You've heard that song before, right? Looking for love in all the wrong, you know what I'm talking about. And so yeah, that was me. I grew up not having a solid role model of a manhood or a father figure to really affirm me. And so anytime or any chance I got to get that male attention or affection, I took it. And so at that time, in my mind, I equated if a guy wanted me, my body, then that means he wanted me. And if that meant me, doing something inappropriate, doing something that I knew I wouldn't be proud of, just to get an affection, just to, spend some time, or to have a man or a guy hold me, then I took it. And that's exactly what happened this night. I remember in my mind, I wasn't really thinking like, yeah, I'm about to go to this dude's house and have sex with him. You know what I'm saying? I was literally thinking, I just want to be held. I just want this male affection. And so, we're on our way to his place. And it didn't really dawn on me like, yeah, it's something's about to go down. But if a guy come in and pick you up and he take you to his place or to his room, more than likely he's expecting something. I didn't have a relationship with him like that. So it wasn't like, we've been talking all this time and no. I get to his bed and it starts to go down. Now back then, I used to think that if it wasn't vaginal penetration, then it wasn't real sex. And so it was one of those kind of things. And then right when I knew it was about to go down, right when I knew he was expecting more of my body than what was happening, I freaked out. Because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there anyway, especially with that person. And in that moment, right before it was about to happen, literally the second right before, I said, stop. I said, no. And he stopped. Now, was he mad? Yeah, he was mad. He didn't say it with his mouth, but I could tell with his body language. But still, I said no. And I'm telling you this story to teach you or share with you a lesson about consent. A lot of times we feel like if we agree to do something, perform a sexual act, do anything really, but I'm talking about sex here. If we agree to send this or wear this or whatever, in our sweet little hearts and minds, we feel like it's an ironclad document in the courts and we have to oblige. We have to say yes to it. I mean, because hey, we came this far, right? Hey, I actually drove here, or I allowed you to pick me up hours, or I flew here. I mean, I came this far. I must have to do it. But this little thing about consent that I didn't even know before, and a lot of women don't know now, is that if at any time you agree to something and you change your mind, you have the right to do so. Because if you agree to something, if you consent to something, at any moment you can unconsent and you don't have to do it. Y'all ever been to the doctor's office and y'all signed like the consent form? And there's always like this, explanation or disclaimer that says, at any moment, if you don't agree to these terms any longer, then you have to do X, Y, and Z. That's a lesson in consent. If at any moment you change your mind, you don't want to do this, you don't want to be in a relationship with him anymore, you don't want to do whatever you don't want to do, then guess what? Do X, Y, and Z. Pick your body up, pick your clothes up, whatever. Walk out the door, say no. Do what you gotta do because you no longer agree to the terms. I came across these stories of women in sex trafficking and how a lot of these girls are coerced. I can never say that word. And how a lot of these girls are coerced. They are deceived, manipulated, or feel obligated to fulfill some kind of agreement that they made. And so like when they get to the place, or when a guy, pulls the okie doke and said, all right, instead of you doing this, I really want you to do this. She was like, I didn't agree to this, but she feels like I have to do it because he threatened her. He said, I'm gonna sue you if you don't. A lot of us feel like if we don't do it, then something bad is gonna happen to us. But you gotta know that is a lie. And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. So what if he says, I'ma sue you, or this is gonna happen? Guess what? At some point, you gotta come to a knowledge and an understanding of who you are and realize you are made in the image of God. So your voice matters, your thought matters, everything about you matters. And if you're talking about suing me, then do it. Do what you gotta do. Let's see how much legal ground you really got. Because guess what? I would rather face a tattered, tainted reputation for a little while. I would rather face losing money if it was really legal ground than giving up my emotionality or giving up my body in a way that is permanent. Having to live with those memories that I would never be able to forget. So guess what, boo? It's me and you. And if it comes down to it, if you're trying to get physical, then it's me or you. Now, I am so not proud of that situation. That's actually on my list of things that I wish never would have happened. But like I said, now I get to use it as a story to share. I should have never been in his bed. I should have never put myself in that situation, but that's where my mind was at the time. And guess what? Things happen. Immature things happen. I get it. Could he have forced himself on me that night? Yes, he could have. Now, would he be alive today to tell the story? Now, how my family is set up, I don't know. And so I just wanted to tell you, if at any time you agreed to something, you can unagree. I don't even think that's a word. But you can change your mind. If at any time you come to your senses or realize your worth, baby girl, I don't even care if you're during the act and you afraid that if you say no or you tell him to stop at that moment, then he gonna get mad. Take your chances. Because your voice matters, your opinion matters. And your no is no. It does not need to be validated by anything else. Because you're made in the image of God, it's already validated. You don't need evidence, support. You don't need to say why I said no, why you said no. No, because I said no. Stop, because I said stop. I changed my mind because I changed my mind. I don't care what you did yesterday, what you did last year. I don't care what you wore or what you're wearing. I don't care what reputation you have or what expectations people put on you because of the things you've done in the past. You can change your life at any moment. You can make a decision to go from left to right at any moment. You can choose a life of sexual purity at any moment. You can choose God as long as you got breath in your body at any moment. Don't let nobody tell you you can't change your mind. So let's practice. Repeat after me. No. Stop. I changed my mind. Y'all stay encouraged. Peace.